Community, do you want to know how to attract your soulmate?
In this video, we are going to talk about attracting your soulmate and how to become one for somebody else.
We're going to reveal 5 steps that you can take to attract your soulmate. And the first one is to go within and evaluate yourself. I had a friend once tell me, be the person that you want to date. Do you find yourself interesting? Do you find that maybe you've got some things that maybe you want to do a little work on? I know I've got my own issues. We all have our own issues, right? So take the time to really take some inventory. What are you really good at? What motivates you? What inspires you? And then what are the things that maybe you're not so proud of about yourself? And start researching and looking into the ways in which you can work on those and become that best version of yourself.
Evaluate your circle. After evaluating yourself, you want to look at what influences you and what and who you influence yourself. And this can be beyond relationships. This can look like music, media, just things that you consume and that you allow to form you in your everyday and every weekly life. Are these things helping you? Are these things creating discipline and accountability in you? Are these things pushing you to be the best version of yourself? And be honest with yourself. If something is not working for you in your life, maybe you don't have to cut it out completely, but evaluate maybe not pursuing it as much. All of us could use less time on social media or with junk food, for example.
I love that, Nicole. I think evaluating our circle is really important. I know in the Life Transformed community, and I know others have said it as well, but we, you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So your circle becomes really important. And really surrounding yourself with people who lift you up, they support you, they don't judge you, they are for you, and they're in harmony with you. I love that. The third step is what I like to call the action step. This is to me, maybe the most exciting thing that we can be doing to attract our soulmate. And this is that moment where after you've looked at steps 1 and 2 and you say, who do I really want to be? You go forward and you become that person that you were actually created to be. You embrace the gifts that you were born with, you embrace your flaws, you embrace everything that it is about your being, and then you go and you amplify it. So maybe you're a person who wants to run a marathon. Maybe you want to hike Mount Everest. Maybe you want to learn a foreign language. Maybe you want to travel the world. Go do those things. That's what makes the life that you have and the time that you have here on this earth so incredibly beautiful and inspiring to other people, not to mention to yourself. And so if you can take that time to figure out how to do that, and really live a life that you love, then you are going to naturally just exude that energy and just really be somebody that people want to be around.
Yeah, and that's great that you say it like that, Stephanie, and that really leads us into our 4th point, which is understand your completeness. You were created as one complete human with a complete mind, body, soul, and spirit. And you don't need another person to complete you, you need another person to complement you. And that makes the journey to find that person so much better. It allows you to be able to grow and be the person that God has created you to be and have fun along the way. And then when that other person comes in and they have an understanding of completeness, that allows you guys to be able to grow and have a beautiful relationship as 2 complementary people, which can lead to such a blessing of a relationship and such a blessing of a life with that person.
The 5th step and the final step is that it's never done. It's never over, and we should always continue to learn and grow and want to continue to enrich our lives. So be in that place where you're always wanting to learn. Even if you find that perfect person, that soulmate, that life partner, whoever that might be, don't stop. Don't stop being an inspiration to yourself and to others and loving and being in community. I believe, and we believe within the Life Transformed community, that if you stop learning, you stop growing. So just embrace and try to find ways every single day of doing something new and really giving yourself a reason to continue to love the life that you've built for yourself.
Yeah, and I've noticed just in my own walk as I become the person that I want to attract, all of these steps have really helped me, especially just like being real with myself, being real with the areas that I need to improve, and finding accountability in my circle. And then, yeah, just taking that action step and going and doing and experiencing the freedom that comes with doing what you love to do and becoming the person that you enjoy. And I think they all intertwine so well, because like I said with the fourth step, like you understand that you're a complete person, and that you can live in that, and you can know that you have a peace, that you are doing what you were put on this earth to do, and that you are loving people like Christ, and that's huge. And then, yeah, just always having that learning and curious spirit, I think it just fuels that. And it's been amazing to just see how the Lord's gifts have fueled me in my journey, just to find somebody, but also to become a more whole person. So, yeah.
That's beautiful, Nicole. I think, as I sit here and reflect on this topic and think about all of you who might be in a place where you're seeking and you're looking for that meaning in your life, that fulfillment, and that person that you'd like to share it with, I was really reflecting on some of the questions that you all might be looking to have answered. And if you're like me, I was looking for a little bit more fulfillment, a little bit more enrichment. I felt this emptiness inside, and that happened around 2 years ago or so. It was a really rough time for me. I had family members who were struggling with some health issues. I was having my own health issues. I was having struggles with my children, and I even lost a very significant relationship with a man who I thought was the one. And I just felt really broken, and I call it my summer of tears. I literally sat in my backyard and cried for an entire summer. And so I started researching, probably like all of you, looking for answers. I needed to know why it happened and how I could build myself back up and get to that place where I could feel happy and whole again. And of course, for me, it started first with a choice, and then following the 5 steps that we talked about. I started working on building my life by leaning into what I loved. So we talked about running marathons and things like that. I don't run, but I love music, and I love language, and I love travel, and I love people. And so I just started surrounding myself with the people who I knew were for me, and the people who I knew were going to constantly provide me with the love and support I needed at that time, and they were just friends. And I started learning another language and picking one back up that I learned back in high school, and I started playing music again. And soon my soul started to really light up, and I started to feel really good about what I was doing. And I'm still doing that. I'm still building, and I'm still working on being so in love with my life that I don't need anything else. And need has never been the word for me. It's really, at some point it becomes, I want someone to share my life with, and I want someone to go on this journey with me. And so sitting here today, I can't say that I have that person just yet, but what I know is that I know it's coming. I have this deep sense inside that as I work on being 100% authentically me and who I was created to be, and and working to fulfill the purpose I was put on this earth to fulfill, that the person who is supposed to authentically do that with me will find me, because they're looking for me too.
Yeah, I think you said it great. Like, you trust God's timing, because at the end of the day, like, that's the only thing that we need is God. And He's created us with gifts and talents and love for things that, like, that's gonna help us, and that's good, and that's, like you said, with language and music and travel, like, those are good things, and I love that. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're interested in more content, please like and subscribe.
We will see you next time on the journey from isolation to community, where freedom awaits beyond.